All right, let's get into the news tonight. Right off the bat, wow, Israel has now officially approved plans to intensify Gaza operations, officials say, and they're going to go on in this article and say that they intend to take all of Gaza and not come out for a long time, if ever. An Israeli official says cabinet members have approved plans to intensify military operations in the Gaza Strip. These plans, says by Tia Goldberg, Associated Press, says that Israeli cabinet members approved these plans on Monday, and the official confirmed the approval in the influential security cabinet, which met late on Sunday to vote on the plan, but did not disclose the details. The official spoke on condition of anonymity in line with regulations. The approval comes a day after Israel announced it was calling up tens of thousands of reserve soldiers for the expanded operations in Gaza, which Israel says are meant to increase pressure on Hamas to negotiate a ceasefire. So I've read several different places,
right,
and we're going to cover what's going on with the Houthi rebels as well. But the statement is coming out that Netanyahu has said, I'm tired of playing. You're never going to release these hostages, so we're going to finish the job. And then what's got the whole world upset is that he said, we're going in and we're not coming out.
Yeah.
And they're basically going to take over.
If you're going to finally clean the place up and clear it out and, quite frankly, get ready for that resort, you're going to have to turn the heat up, right? You got to get things done.
Yeah, and, talking about that resort, I've thought about that before. I'm beginning to wonder, man, is Trump just like the master troll? Is he puts out so many outlandish things and says it, and it makes the news cycle.
Right.
And then we don't hear about it again. Nobody's talked about the newfangled Gaza since that press conference about a week later. Did he really mean that? I mean, did he really mean that America was going to own Gaza? I mean, come on. I don't know.
No, I don't think they're going to own it. But the silence, I believe, is by design. He's had Jared in the Middle East since his first administration.
That is true.
He's been working behind the scenes. I would say at least the entire Biden administration.
Yeah.
And he had relations during the first Trump administration, correct?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
There's
with
no
the
telling.
Abraham Accords.
There's no telling what he started in that first administration, and certainly what's been going on since then. So, maybe it's silence by design.
Maybe. Hey, you never know with that dude. I mean, he is in a zone right now where he does not care what he says. He has nothing to lose in his mind. They've tried to kill him multiple times. He can't be reelected. So it's just like, I'm just going to say what I want to say. Yeah. I'm going to throw it up against the wall, see what sticks.
We're going for broke, baby.
Going for broke. So let's go back to the Middle East here. The Houthi rebels have really stepped up their, and let's stop calling them rebels. Let's call it what this headline is, the Houthi terrorists. They're not just rebels, they're terrorists, okay? Let's just tell it like it is. So the Houthi terrorists threaten complete air blockade of Israel. Now, what they're meaning by this, in case you guys missed this, they finally had a missile penetrate through the Iron Dome and landed at the Tel Aviv airport. Now, it did not land on one of the runways on the outskirts of it, but Israel was shocked that they were able to get in. And, of course, they're partying and excited that they got in there, and now they're saying, we got in, so now we're gonna continue to go for your airport and shut everything down. So the Iran-backed Houthi terrorists of Yemen threatened on Monday to impose a complete air blockade of Israel, building from their success of landing a missile in the general vicinity of Israel's Ben Gurion airport on Sunday. In response to Israel's decision to expand its aggressive operations in the Gaza Strip that we just reported on, the armed forces declared that they will work to establish a complete air blockade of the Israeli enemy by launching multiple attacks on the airports, primarily Lod Airport, known in Israel as Ben Gurion Airport. Houthi military spokesman said on Monday. Lod Airport was the name of Israel's major international airport from its establishment in 1948 until it was renamed in 1973 in honor of David Ben Gurion, Israel's first prime minister. The airport is located on the outskirts of the ancient city of Lod and a little under 10 miles from Tel Aviv. So this is Pete Hegseth speaking on Fox Business, I believe it was. And this is Fox News Channel. This probably was the Sunday show. Yeah, this is one of the Sunday shows, speaking on what is going on with the Houthi rebels.
Well, it all went down because an era of peace through strength is back. Just like in his first term, President Trump had to deal with the weakness of President Obama and get rid of ISIS, and he did it more quickly than anybody else. We're sitting on 4 years of deferred maintenance from Joe Biden, where in particular, when you talk about the Houthis, they were allowed for over 100 times to shoot at U.S. Ships, to shoot at commercial shipping. 4 months ago, when we sent a ship through, it was shot at 17 times. Ships haven't been able to go through for over a year without being shot at. Freedom of navigation is basic. It's a core national interest. And President Trump has said, we will restore that and we will be unrelenting. I want to be very clear. This campaign is about freedom of navigation and restoring deterrence. The minute the Houthis say, we'll stop shooting at your ships, we'll stop shooting at your drones, this campaign will end. But until then, it will be unrelenting. We got the reports last night, Maria. The Houthi capital felt like an earthquake. Dozens and dozens of precision-heavy munitions dropping precisely on the targets that we wanted to hit, sending a very clear message. And the message is clear to Iran as well. And the president said it in his truth. Your support of the Houthis needs to end immediately. We will hold you accountable as the sponsor of this proxy. And I echo his statement. We will not be nice about it. This is not the Biden administration. The message is clear. We will come after the Houthis until they stop shooting at our ships, and the Iranians better stay out of it.
Wow. Tell you what, there's a lot of people who don't know what to think about Pete Hegseth. I think he's doing a great job. They're saying that because of talk like that and stern words like that, recruiting is at record levels. The military was just in shambles. Yeah. But now it's just really the recruiting is going through the roof because they want somebody that's going to lead them to do what a military does.
Certainly, they want to be led by someone who looks strong and smart, and hopefully, it's attracting the same kind of recruits.
Absolutely. All right, so continuing on the Houthis, and I don't know why they keep spelling this wrong or different ways. But this is Breitbart, so I didn't misspell this. But if I was in charge, it'd probably be spelled about 5 different ways. But Houthis say that U.S. bombed Yemen after strike on Israel's main airport. And that's what we were just hearing from Pete Hegseth. On Monday, accused the United States of carrying out strikes in and around Sana'a after the Iran-backed rebels claimed a missile strike on Israel's main airport. The Houthi-run Saba news agency said the strikes included 2 on Arbayan Street in the capital and the airport road, blaming them on American aggression. 16 people were wounded. Saba cites the Iran-backed rebels' health ministry is saying. The accusation came after Israel said a missile fired from Yemen struck inside the perimeter of the Ben Gurion International Airport. The Houthis claimed responsibility and said they fired a hypersonic ballistic missile at Ben Gurion. And the missile gouged a wide crater in the ground near the airport parking lot, wounding 6 people and forcing airlines to suspend flights. The Houthis, who control swaths of Yemen, including the capital, have launched missiles and drones targeting Israel and the Red Sea shipping through the Gaza war, saying that they are acting in solidarity with the Palestinians. Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu vowed a tough response against the Houthis, as well as its main backer, Iran, over the attack. In a video published on Telegram, Netanyahu said Israel had acted against the Houthis in the past and will act again in the future. It will not happen in one bang, but there will be many bangs, he said, without elaborating. On social media platform X, Netanyahu said Israel would also respond to Iran at a time and place of our choosing, end quote. Hours later, the Houthis threatened to launch more such strikes and warned airlines to cancel their flights to Israel airports. This is not slowing down. This is not winding down.
No, it doesn't.
This is escalating.
And it's been how long?
I don't know when it started, but obviously October 7th was the trigger, and I don't really know when they went into Gaza, but it's not winding down. And by the way, neither is Ukraine.
Right.
And now we have a potential war between Pakistan and India.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. So we're a year and a half in since October 2023, right? On this
I think
one?
so, yeah.
My goodness.
Okay.
And you thought it couldn't get any worse.
No, exactly. So that's where we're at. Middle East, we have some of the biggest aircraft carriers that we possess in that area. Some of our most powerful ships are now right there.
Yep.
They're not in Europe. They're not. Many of them are in the next to China and Taiwan,
Right.
but y'all, we were not expecting this. We covered when the largest movement of military assets since
Right.
World War II happened, when they moved them to the outskirts of Taiwan, and but then they had to move a lot of them over there to the Middle East. So I really think that the whole China-Taiwan thing has been paused because I think their economy is crumbling. I really do. I really do.
Ooh.
I think that they are.
Yowza.
You know, when you're talking about the communists are never going to tell you. And you think back to when we were in the Cold War.
Yes.
You know, these presidents and leaders and dictators would have a cold.
Yes.
You know, they'd have the flu, and then they were just dead. You know, they were gone. So the communists, that's their play build. You know, they're never going to tell you the truth.
Right.
So China is not telling you what's really going on. I think the whole thing about the tariffs and all this is hurting them a lot more than it's hurting us. That's just my opinion, and I believe that has caused them to have to put a pause because Xi Jinping cannot afford a setback or a loss because they will make sure he gets the flu.
Yeah. He was in trouble, supposedly, before this talk of their population being nowhere near what they report, and of course, the tariffs and everything that stems from that. So I'm sure he doesn't need any more problems.
No, he don't. And we'll never know the truth. It's like we never know the truth about our own government. We're going to cover that.
They have
tonight.
that place locked down so tight.
Oh yeah. So tight. But you know, every major nation does. We're going to show you tonight. Stay with us because we're going to show you a video of a whistleblower and a former employee of the government that's telling us that there's 170 underground cities that we have spent trillions of dollars building, preparing for some cataclysmic event that's coming. And also, once again, the movies are spot on.
So, are you saying that's where all the missing money went?
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm also saying that show that we watched called Paradise
my goodness.
is spot on as anything that we've seen in a long time.
Wow.
If this report that we're going to show you tonight is true. But y'all, this is what I was talking about. If you come in late, I led the program by saying, I'm just wondering, is Trump just really a master troll in the sense that he just knows how to push everybody's button and make everybody mad and make news and come on and distract everybody from what's really going on because he's still the president of the United States. So we're still dealing with the United States here, no matter we love Trump or not.
Right.
But y'all just out of nowhere. I mean, no one had this on their bingo card. So out of nowhere, you're talking about the gangs, the illegal aliens are being deported and all this. And he goes, I got an idea. I tell you what, if you don't want me to send them to El Salvador, I'm just going to reopen Alcatraz.
Wow.
What?
That. So on this past family vacation last year, we did a lot of different things, but we were going to be going to San Francisco. So that was my big ask is, can we go to Alcatraz while we're there?
Yep.
So y'all made it happen and we were able to go there. And I don't know, some of you may have seen some clips, little video clips we did from there on vacation. But this is... You don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know what idea he's going to come up with. Yeah. It's just going to come out of nowhere sometimes. And bam, this one did.
All right. So Trump orders Alcatraz prison reopened. Watch this. He didn't just talk about it. He says, I'm ordering Alcatraz to be reopened to house the dregs of society. President Donald Trump has announced that He's ordered the infamous island prison Alcatraz to be rebuilt and reopened to house the nation's most dangerous criminals.
Right.
Trump announced the plan on social media earlier Sunday evening. The notorious prison, also known as The Rock, which you love that movie. You've probably seen it 20 times.
Maybe not that many.
It's located just over a mile.
But I also love Sean Connery.
Of course.
So.
It's located just over a mile off the California coast near San Francisco. It's a very interesting place.
Yes.
In a post on Truth Social, Trump said in part that he wants to use the prison to house the dregs of society. Once Alcatraz is renovated and expanded, Trump said, it will also be used to house criminal illegal aliens if Democrat-aligned activist judges continue to block his efforts to deport them. Rebuild and open Alcatraz, Trump's post began. So let's see if we got the post down here.
Well, having been there, I think we would both agree that renovation is going to take a minute.
Oh my goodness.
Because that
place was falling apart.
It's in poor condition. And here's another thing. This is a tourist attraction. I don't know how many millions or hundreds of millions of dollars that it brings in revenue each year. I don't know who it goes to, how that would be replaced. Sometimes places like this are run by private institutions. I don't know if the money goes directly back to the state or the county or whatever, but they're not going to be happy about that.
No, they're not.
And it's just going to take a lot of money and a long time to get this place up to suitable standards.
I even heard some people say today that he was not even really saying that he wanted Alcatraz open, that he was using Alcatraz as a model of what he wants to build if he can find something similar like an isolated island. But the truth is, there ain't nothing else like Alcatraz. That's just such a unique place in the water. I was thinking about the movie when, Escape from Alcatraz and all that, based on the true story and all this. Right. And we stood there and looked at it and we just thought, could they have made it? And I think there's a chance that they could have made it to that other island. If you've ever been there, there's another island that's not directly towards San Francisco, but most people believe they didn't make it. But it was supposed to be inescapable. It was supposed to be the most secure place in the world for the worst of the worst. Right. And of course, it's really interesting to go through there and you see the cells, and then you have a picture of who was in there, and then you got your little thing that you walk around, the audio, and it tells you who was there. There was some very, very notorious people there, some very bad people there. So this is what he said. He goes on to say, for too long, America has been plagued by vicious, violent, and repeat criminal offenders, the dregs of society, who will never contribute to anything other than misery and suffering. When we were a more serious nation in times past, we did not hesitate to lock up the most dangerous criminals and keep them away from anyone that they could harm. That's the way it's supposed to be, he continued. Wow.
Guess we'll have to wait and see what happens.
No longer will we tolerate serial offenders who spread filth, bloodshed, and mayhem in our streets. That is why today I am directing the Bureau of Prisons, together with the Department of Justice, FBI, and Homeland Security, to reopen a substantially enlarged and rebuilt Alcatraz to house America's most ruthless and violent offenders. We will no longer be held hostage to criminals, thugs, and judges that are afraid to do their job and allow us to remove criminals who came into our country illegally. The reopening of Alcatraz will serve as a symbol of law, order, and justice. Now, before anybody just thinks this is a joke,
oh my goodness,
this is the guy that changed a mini ocean. They call it a Gulf, from the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. This is the guy that has he said, I'm going to shut down the border. And literally, y'all, he shut down the border. It's 99.9% less people being captured at the border now than when he took office just a little over 100 days ago. So I don't know, Sandy, I'm sort of thinking that it won't be long that we're going to start seeing construction happening on Alcatraz. Okay. But what are they going to do?
Enlarge. What is he build a high rise on Alcatraz?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
implode what's there and just make a high rise. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so if he does everything he's saying, that's why I say I wonder if he's just a master troll and don't mean this and just trying to ag them on. But he's going to plant Trump Tower in Gaza. He's going to have the Mediterranean, what do you call it, the Mar-a-Lago, or no, what do you call it? The Riviera, Riviera, the Mediterranean. And now he's going to expand Alcatraz. But, y'all, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't see how that can happen. I mean,
Which one?
Alcatraz. I mean, who knows? But y'all tell me in the comments in the live chat what y'all think.
Look, come on.
But it's possible, I guess.
It would take a lot of money and who knows how much time. And then you got to, I imagine there's
San Francisco's the most liberal city
right.
in America.
There's political red tape, right? Or whatever to get through. I mean, if you wanted to just choose a hot button issue.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, this is what we're talking about. This is why I say he's the master troll. Leftists lose it as President Trump orders the reopening and rebuilding of Alcatraz.
No surprise there.
They lose it. But I think we got the video of it here. Let's see if
good.
I think.
I want to see that.
Here we go. So he just caught him off guard.
Where did you get the idea for reopening Alcatraz?
Just an idea I've had, and I guess because the judges, so many of these radicalized judges, they want to have trials for every single, think of it, every single person that's in our country illegally, that came in illegally, that would mean millions of trials, and it's just so ridiculous what's happening. And it's long been a symbol, Alcatraz, of whatever it is. I mean, it's a sad symbol, but it's a symbol of law and order. And, it's got quite a history, frankly. So I think we're going to do that, and we're looking at it right now.
I got something for you.
What?
If you build it, they will be incarcerated. We'll see. You would think that would be just the beginning of the noise that they're going to make over this one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So let's get a few comments from the leftists here. Upon hearing the news, leftists included aides to California Governor Gavin Newsom went into a meltdown. Trump is pledging to reopen Alcatraz as American consumers feel the financial pinch of his unpopular tariffs, and he continues to tussle with the courts over mass deportation of immigrants. Notorious far-left California State Senator Scott Weiner also flipped out, saying that Trump wants to turn Alcatraz into a domestic gulag right in the middle of the San Francisco Bay. He specifically calls out judges who won't let him deport whoever he wants without due process. In addition to being deeply unhinged, this is an attack on the rule of law. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi also fumed about Trump's bold announcement, calling the president's order unserious. Alcatraz closed as a federal penitentiary, she said, more than 60 years ago. It is now a very popular national park and major tourist attraction. The president's proposal is not a serious one.
You didn't have a quote from Kamala Harris yet, did you?
No, I don't think Kamala's weighed in yet.
I
don't think she's weighed in.
Listen, let's just think about this. He may have an entire business model in his head, giant screens on the side of the building so people can advertise, so you can just look out across the bay and it could be just a beacon of advertisement.
Make the Rock great
people
again.
Clamoring to buy space on the screens in time.
Just one more and we'll move on. Mario, whoever Mario is, I don't know who he is, but Trump has officially entered the psychotic emperor phase.
What?
He's not coming back. The Pope image was it. That was the line. He crossed it and kept walking. This isn't trolling anymore. This is clinical delusion. The tariffs on movies, reopening Alcatraz, these aren't policies. This is...
Show more. I wanted to see.
You wanted to see the rest? Okay, I'll show you more. This is... I got to go to the X to see the rest of it. Says, these aren't policies. This is a man deep in a psychotic loop, thinking revenge is leadership and trolling is governance. He's in a feedback loop with this cult, with his cult. Every time he does something more insane, MAGA cheers louder. And every cheer convinces him he's still the chosen one. So he takes it further and further. He's not trying to win. He's trying to feel worship. He's not making decisions. He's playing dress up in his own hallucination. And the worst part, his cult loves it because they're broken like him. Because in their minds, every delusion he has is another way to own the libs. This is the loop now, the psychotic delusional final act. And MAGA is clapping along like it's a church revival. No one's driving the bus anymore. They're just throwing gasoline and screaming kumbaya and hallelujah.
Well, I don't identify as part of the cult.
I ain't in no cult.
But I know one thing. Somebody in chat said, make Alcatraz great again.
I said that too, and you didn't hear me?
Well, no.
No, I said make the rock great.
You said, and you won't even have to change the hats.
That's
right?
true. That's better than make the rock. Yes, MAGA. And then they sell it on the, you visit your loved ones and you can buy, there'll be a gift shop.
There you go.
At Alcatraz.
Yeah, you can't get out of anywhere without having to go through the gift shop.
You got it. Yeah, you come out through the gift shop.
It's genius.
It's genius.
It's genius.
Now let's talk about his sidekick that's about to go back to Tesla.
All right.
The richest man in the world, Elon Musk, his controversial leader of Doge, and I think he's done some good while he's there. And then, by the way, he didn't get kicked out. He didn't quit because of pressure. He's leaving when he said he was going to leave. Okay. Doge is not ending. They're going for 2 years, but he said he would lead Doge up until the time that he's going to leave. So there's no news about that. But he did make news this week. I don't know if you heard this. He has his own city now. Did you hear about that?
I actually was reading something about that today.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk has his own city. Elon Musk gets his own Texas city.
How about you?
Voters approve incorporation of SpaceX city called Starbase. Y'all, there's nothing bad's going to go on in Starbase City. Just nothing. There's nothing we need to be concerned about. An entire city based on AI, Grok, robots, Tesla, brain chips, and going to Mars. There's nothing.
You sure they're doing all that out there?
I think that's what they're projecting. Because guess what? The people that live in this city are all his workers. This is like his compound. Okay. So a remote section of southern Texas, home of Elon Musk's SpaceX launch site, has officially been designated as a city, named Starbase. The area was incorporated following a successful vote by local residents on Saturday. Of the 283 eligible voters, very small town, most of whom are SpaceX employees, 212 voted in favor, while just 6 opposed. Well, who are the 6? I mean, they're employees and they didn't want their own city. According to the results from Cameron County, Musk celebrated the outcome on his social media platform X, writing, Starbase, Texas is now a real city. Its incorporated city spans 1.6 square miles, a once sparsely populated stretch of land that SpaceX began acquiring in 2012. Starbase will be governed by a mayor and 2 commissioners with authority over planning, taxation, and other municipal affairs. Look here. He says how it started, how it's going. So that's when they first bought the land. The first mayor is Bobby Pedden, a SpaceX vice president who ran unopposed. 2 other SpaceX affiliates residents also filled the commissioner roles unchallenged. Musk himself has a home in the area, which features quirky touches like a road named Memes Street and a large bust of Musk, recently defaced by vandals. About 500 people live in the surrounding area, though the idea of forming a city had circulated for years. A formal petition began in 24 that triggered the vote.
Wow.
So there is
they got a
Starbase.
whopping 1.6 miles. Wonder if they plan to expand.
I'm sure they do. But that is interesting. Do you think the guy that's the mayor is really going to be the mayor, or is he a puppet of the true mayor? Come on, we know who the mayor is, right? who we know who the mayor is of Musk Town.
So he has time to do that too.
Oh, look, I mean, he'll run it by proxy. He'll say, "Hey, dude, this is what I want."
But even to hear all the details and the what we have to do and the decisions, you know what? I don't really care.
Yeah, but look, y'all, I'm telling you, the reason we should care is because this is further evidence that Musk is getting ready for some major something major beyond what we know. I believe.
What you going to speculate on? I want to hear this.
I believe before Trump leaves office, Musk is going to demonstrate, launch, or I think before he leaves, I think his goal is that he really is going to put some of his Tesla robots that is far more advanced than what we have been told on rockets and head them straight to Mars. And we're going to have video. And it may be a few years, but we're going to have video from Elon Musk, whether we can believe it or not because of AI. We're going to have video of these crafts landing on Mars and robots walking that looks like humans are going to walk around. They're going to take pictures. They're going to take selfies. They're going to try to portray what life could be. And Musk is about to start seeding his plans to build on Mars.
I've already seen this movie, and the living accommodations are, lacking, to say the least. And if you really want to impress people, why are we continuing with this farce of we need rocketry when we all know we've had anti-gravitics for a long, long time?
Sandy.
I'm sorry. I can't.
Conspiracy.
Really? You want me to continue playing along? I can't do it. I'm done.
So you're saying you believe we already been to Mars?
I don't know if we've definitely been to Mars. I actually believe there's a good chance that we have, but let's stop with the rocketry.
Yeah.
And talk about the real power.
Right. Yeah. Are we being distracted by we got to have where others can just go with no sound?
Everybody get your lawn chair.
Yeah.
And your favorite beverage. We're going to go sit out in the hot sun and wait for this launch to take place. And we did that.
Yeah, we did. And it was awesome.
It was awesome. Of course, we were totally asleep back then, and it was the 90s.
That's true.
It's all we had.
We saw the shuttle launch, y'all. We just happened to be down there with friends. We found out that it was time. We saw the shuttle launch, and it was incredible.
Yep. A lot of noise.
A lot of noise. What's so cool is that, the speed of light versus the speed of sound. So we saw it go all the way up, and it was almost disappeared before the sound hit us. And then the sound hit us, and all the alarms started going off and all that. It was just the compression. It was really amazing.
Oh, yeah. We were totally bought in.
Yeah, but you're right. We were so asleep. We were just like, oh, looky there.
I think those other 10,000 people must have been asleep.
Yeah. We're going back to the moon again maybe one day. Hey, the only reason we hadn't gone back is because it just cost so much money.
No, we lost the technology. That's what he said. Can't do it.
Yeah, we lost the technology. How many people? Let's do a quick poll.
Have you heard of memory? Is anybody?
Hey, quick poll in the live chat in the comment section. Just go ahead and tell me straight up. Did we go to the moon?
Oh, you're gonna open that?
Did we go to the moon?
Worms?
Did we go to the moon?
Do you actually think we've been to the moon? Thank you, Lainey.
Yeah.
Look
at there. She was ahead of me. I didn't know she was going to say that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
teleportation, time tunnels.
We got people in there saying there is no Mars.
There is no
There's
Mars.
not even no Mars. Hey, you know what? What do we really know outside of what we see in front of us?
Are you a flat earther?
No, I'm not, because the Bible says the Bible says circle of the earth.
I wasn't talking about you.
Okay. I'm just saying I've got to the point right now that I'm like,
somebody get the popcorn,
not right in front of me,
another show has gone completely off the rails. Yeah. What was that article?
Look, no.
Yes.
We got a yes.
Thank you, Rob.
But when you really think about what if we are to believe the narrative that we went to the moon, then we have to believe that, because you think about what at least we were told, the technology that we had. Most people didn't even at the time even own a calculator. They didn't even own a calculator. And it's like, but the technology they say that was in that ship back then that took us there and brought these people back was less technology that was what was in a calculator when we first got married. Because I remember hearing that the calculator that you have now, when we first got married 36 years ago, it has more technology in it than what was in the spacecraft that went to the moon. And yet look at what we have now.
Right.
And so we lost the technology to go back. Can AI not just rethink it?
That's what I say.
Can we not just ask AI, hey, tell us how to go to the moon?
Okay, is that the best excuse you
Right.
come up with?
That's what makes me skeptical.
Whether we've been there or not, you would think they could come up with a more elaborate story than that.
Y'all, it wasn't that long ago that, I'm telling you, it wasn't that long ago that when we would have this discussion, I would say, Sandy, what are you talking about? Of course we went to the moon. Now I'm like, there is no way we went to the moon. It's so fake. One question. I did not see this show going this way tonight. I had no,
Exactly.
I had no plans.
What happened?
I had no plans
Thank
of us
you,
going.
Alcatraz.
Yeah, thank you, Alcatraz. But y'all, ask yourself this one question. When they left the moon and they were in that capsule and it went up, who was the camera operator? Because it wasn't just like this. The camera went like this and followed them.
Oh, well, you just came up with some gold. I did not know you were going to say that.
Who was running the camera? Did they have AI tracking back then that they just locked on there and said?
That's what it was.
I mean,
had to be, right?
Either that or some dude still up there going, "You forgot me."
Well, somebody in chat said when they filmed something in Arizona. I don't know.
Well, did y'all see the movie? We watched the comedy movie not long ago. It took us a long time to watch it. The one where they talked about faking the moon.
Is it Fly Me to the Moon?
Fly Me to the Moon, yeah. And it's so funny how they do the predictive programming now. They try to be so funny on the side that they want to tell you what they did, but they want to make it such a joke that nobody would take it seriously. But by the end of that program, I was like, y'all, they just come clean. They just come clean. Because they know this is about to come out. Somebody's got evidence. They just come clean. Well, look, has anybody ever bought anything from Teemo? I bought one time, and I bought something one time because some stupid ad on Facebook, and I got blown up in ads from Teemo forever, and they kept promising me to spin this wheel, the thing. You bought stuff from Teemo?
You know, I was not going to say anything until you said that.
Okay.
Yes, one time.
One time. One time's all it takes for you to get in the Teemo algorithm, but guess what? Teemo's hurting right now because of the tariffs. Teemo online marketplace has halted shipments from China. What? What are you shipping? Because everything comes from China, right? Well, they're saying there's some things that are already in the U.S. is all they're going to ship as Trump closes loophole. Online retailer Teemo, that's going to make some of y'all upset because y'all love you some Teemo.
Yes.
And they got, look, I mean, right now in our studio, we got this thing blocking the window to block out the natural light, and it came from Teemo, y'all. This thing, this curtain, whatever we got blocking the window, that thing was going to cost on Amazon like $250. I got that thing for $20. So
what?
Yeah, it was like $19.99. Yeah. So online retailer Teemo is blocking U.S. customers from buying items from Chinese sellers now that those items come with 145% tariff attached. What was known as the de minimis rule on foreign goods expired Friday, according to CNBC. Under that rule, items valued at $800 or less were exempt from the duties and tariffs. President Donald Trump ended that policy, saying the step was necessary to address the flow of drugs to America. President Trump is targeting deceptive shipping practices by Chinese-based shippers, many of whom hide illicit substances, including synthetic opioids, in low-value packaging to exploit the de minimis exception. The White House said in a fact sheet, it is a big scam going on against our country, against really small businesses, Trump said during a Wednesday cabinet meeting, and we've ended it. We put an end to it. With the exemption gone, Teemo at first said it would raise prices for Americans, but now simply lists items that would be shipped from Chinese sellers as out of stock. A Teemo representative claimed local sellers will now fill orders from within the country.
Oof.
From within America.
Right.
From within America.
Right. Which means you're going to pay a lot more. But consequences.
Yeah.
We've done this to ourselves.
We've done this to ourselves. Absolutely. Everybody's mad because of the prices going up. I get it because that's real world problems. But the reality is this. When is our generation going to finally stop being so selfish and think about our children and our grandchildren?
Yep.
Because every time we just push the can, just kick the can down, just push it on down to the next generation, it gets worse and worse and worse, and we're never coming out of it. And I'm telling you, that's what this is about. This is about a spoonful of sugar might help some medicine go down, but ain't a whole lot of sugar.
Poppins.
Yeah, ain't a whole lot of sugar right now. But the medicine is tough to take. Did you see, boy, Trump, man, he got in so much trouble. They were really messing with him in one of the interviews Sunday or this week. He just said something that bad. It just, that people did not. He goes, look, does a girl need 20 Barbies? Did you see that?
No, I did not see that.
He goes, she don't need 20 Barbies. She can be happy with 3 Barbies. And the one from NBC, are you saying, she thought this gotcha. Are you saying that a person doesn't have a right to have, for their child to have 20 Barbies? Are you saying, he goes, look, all I'm saying is she ain't going to play with 20 Barbies. So if during this time, if she only has 3 Barbies instead of 20 Barbies, she's going to be okay. And they kept trying to give him a chance to retract that. And he goes, I'm telling you, she don't need no more than 3 Barbies. I was like, what in the world? Who is this guy?
Oh my goodness.
So people are, and all this, and by the way, don't go anywhere because we're going to show you tonight a video that was a lady that was on Tucker Carlson's show. And she begins to explain when she worked for the government that she saw evidence and that multiple other people have told her about this evidence that we have 170 underground, not bunkers, cities that are all connected by tunnels. She goes on to say, Sandy, that many of them are under the ocean. Under the ocean.
I don't find that shocking. So they're connected by high-speed rail?
Well, I don't know I don't go that far. I know there was tunnels. We're gonna watch it. We're just gonna let her tell us. But I'm trying to tell everybody, don't go anywhere. That's coming. But we got to cover this. The big thing is the immigration. And so Trump said, have you seen the commercial? I don't know if y'all have seen the commercial too. Have you seen the commercial where Kristi Noem, the Homeland Security Secretary, has the commercial and she is advertising the app? And she's saying, you need to use the app. If you'll use the app and self-deport, you can come back in one day. But I'm just telling you, she said, if you don't use the app, we're coming after you. But here's a chance. Use the app. So
doesn't she say, and you will never be able to return?
Yeah, if we take you out without the app and you don't self-deport, you'll never be. But watch this. Let me tell you what Trump brought out today. It came out today that the Trump administration is saying, look, you want to go? We want you to go. So we will pay for your flight, and if you self-deport, and it goes on to say, we'll give you a stipend. We'll pay you to leave. The Trump administration Department of Homeland Security will be paying for migrant flights for illegals who self-deport and provide them with a stipend once they are confirmed to have left the country, according to reports. The DHS made the announcement on Monday, noting they will offer assistance to pay for the commercial flights of illegal aliens who willingly self-deport from the country. Additionally, they will receive a $1,000 stipend upon proof of exit. DHS says this will ultimately be far more cost-effective for taxpayers, noting that self-deportation also deprioritizes their detention and removal from authorities. Self-deportation is a dignified way to leave the U.S. and will allow legal aliens to avoid being encountered by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Even with the cost of the stipend, it is projected that the use of CBP Home, which is the app I'm talking about, will decrease the cost of deportation by around 70%. Currently, the average cost to arrest, detain, and remove an illegal alien is $17,121 per person.
My goodness.
The first use of travel assistance has already proven successful. An illegal alien that the Biden administration allowed into our country recently utilized the program to receive a ticket for a flight from Chicago to Honduras. Additional tickets have already been booked for this week and the following week. In order to self-deport, it says the illegal immigrants must register on the Customs and Borders Protection Home app and alert the government of their intention to leave the country. Once the illegal immigrant does that, they will be deprioritized by ICE arrest and will maintain the ability to return to the U.S. legally in the future. You can say what you want to say, but that's genius. You're like, why are we giving them $1,000? I mean, they're just trying to give them the incentive to say, hey, look,
right,
we're going to remove every obstacle that you can come up with saying, "Hey, I'd love to get out, but I can't. So we're going to fly you back. We're going to take it. We're going to feed you, and then we're going to give you a check when you get there. But you got to go."
Right. So upon proof that you've returned, I mean, my mind goes to how do they prove that? I mean, you.
I guess when they are on the plane, and I think from what I've read that they have ICE agents on the plane, and they'll probably check them off a list. You know, hey, they're on the plane. I got them in front of me right now.
So I'm curious how many immigrants will, take the government up on this offer.
Yeah, me too.
If it turns out to be a very high number and a growing number, then what are they going back to? Is there housing? Are there jobs for them once they return? I mean,
probably not. But
wow.
I hate to sound cruel, but that's not our responsibility.
It's not our responsibility.
I mean, for when they get back to their country, it's their countries.
With the, the growing, I don't even want to say tensions, but with the intent of our government, they probably wouldn't have a job here much longer anyway. Right. So
it only makes sense for them.
I just hope that they don't have a housing crisis if a lot of people do return at one time.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Now let's go back to not long ago. I believe it was in January. Is that when the helicopter hit the plane in DC? It was right at the inauguration. It was right at the inauguration time. So a lot of things are coming out now about it. And watch what happens today. I mean, they're not learning their lesson. Army suspends helicopter flights near Reagan National Airport after DOT's complaints about safety. The announcement came 3 days after Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy admonished military VIPs and told them, take a taxi or an Uber rather than fly choppers through DC's crowded airspace. So I watched him on Fox News talk about this. This is what he was saying. He's saying these elite generals and people in the Pentagon wanted to, for decades now, they have had this thought, I don't want to drive in traffic.
I don't have to be in traffic.
To go over to my office.
Yeah.
So that's what that corridor's been. They've just been flying these elite people, something that would take them 30 minutes to drive, 25, 30 minutes to drive. They're getting there in 5 to 7 minutes in a helicopter. And that's what this is. And he goes, look, this is I'm going to show you that 2 or 3 airplanes almost got hit in the last couple of weeks again by these Army helicopters.
Oh my goodness.
That's why he said, hey, just get in an Uber. Y'all, I'm telling you, it's being exposed that there is so much elitism that has just been billions of dollars have been spent to take care of these people.
It's got to be. My goodness.
The Army on Monday said that it had suspended helicopter flights into the Pentagon following an incident last week involving a military helicopter flying near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport that prompted air traffic controllers to divert 2 commercial flights that had been attempting to land. This is exactly what just happened in January. The suspension affects helicopter operations out of the 12th Aviation Battalion, which is tasked with evacuating political VIPs during an emergency pending an internal inquiry, said Lieutenant Colonel Patrick Houston, spokesman for the unit that oversees the Army operations within the nation's capital. A Black Hawk helicopter from that same battalion collided with an airliner at the Reagan National earlier, killing all 67 people on board the aircraft. So, yeah, I mean, it's not slowing down. I mean, the same kind of chaos is happening. 2 or 3 commercial airlines were landing, and that's what was going with the other.
I'm just thinking about this in my mind. 2 commercial aircraft. How many people would you imagine were on both of those?
Absolutely.
And what do? I mean, they're attempting to land. Okay, I'm sorry. A couple more circles around the city, guys. We got to clear this up.
And think about what these people are thinking, because that's what happened to the other plane. The other plane was landing. It was coming down as landing. Right. Was it landing or taking off? I can't remember. I think it was landing. But it was I think it was landing. But reality for that person, you're coming in, you already know you're coming in the same spot where this happened.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, right before you land, you got to go back up and circle back around.
Right.
Your mind is going, oh, did we almost get hit?
Everybody's thinking the same thing. And we've been at airports, many of you have been at airports where the planes are lined up one after another to
Yes.
take off. As soon as one takes off, the next one's getting ready to take off in the same place. And it's probably the same for landing. It's probably the same takeoff and landing in Washington because you've got Dulles National.
Yeah.
You've got International. You got Reagan National.
Exactly. Look at what BP Earthwatch is saying here. This is a good point. As crazy as some of these DEI hires are, could that first helicopter crash have been a suicide protest? The reason I'm throwing that up there, BP, is because I thought that. I thought that because it's come out now that she was told by her commander in the helicopter and from the tower multiple times, you're too high. You're too high. Move. And the altitude, I saw this one guy said the altitude could have been corrected in seconds. And she had like 2 minutes of people telling her to do it, and she would not do it. She refused to do it. It's almost implies like she was making a beeline for that plane. And when you watch it, it looks just like that. And she was told multiple times in plenty of time to correct the course, and she didn't do it. So I think BP might be onto something, that there might be more. And we will never be told that. We'll never be told that because of the fact that it was a DEI hire, and they're just not gonna show you that. Y'all, we're getting we've gone down so many.
We're in the
Lord
weeds.
have mercy.
We're in the weeds tonight.
We're in the weeds tonight. Did you hear about this? So he just come out today and said, you know what?
Yeah.
Hollywood movies, y'all making too many movies around the world. We're going to put 100% tariffs on any movie that's filmed outside the USA. Now, look, full disclosure, me and you, we love us some Mission Impossible, okay? And the final one's coming out in a few weeks.
May 23rd.
Right around our anniversary. That's going to be our anniversary date.
Seen the commercial.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to take you. I think it's the last one. And y'all, they were talking about that movie today.
Is it the last one or the last one for him?
I think it's the last one for him. Well, I mean, come on. Please do not try to bring somebody else in and make them him, okay?
I don't know.
Just let it go. It's just like, don't kill it like Star Wars.
Right.
But they were talking about this movie and this tariff thing on Hollywood, and they said that movie was made 100% entirely outside of America. So it's like this one's just getting in by the skin of its teeth because tell them what it would cost to go see that movie.
Certainly. And how many movies
I love this
presently or in the future do you think are going to be AI?
Exactly.
So
Hollywood's in trouble.
I mean, they're in trouble, but that wouldn't be necessarily affected by tariffs if it was mostly or all just AI. So maybe that'll sadly push studios towards more AI. Who knows?
This is the famous "Here's Johnny" moment in The Shining. But I think that probably sums up the way some people, the elites in Hollywood, might be feeling right now. The axe is, I think, Donald Trump.
Wow.
Here's Donald. You got to admit that was good. That was on the fly. Didn't even think about it. It just came out. I mean, I should have said, here's Donnie.
That's funny.
That was good.
That is funny.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. What a night. What a night. Hey, how about this one? Y'all, some good news? You got to start paying your loans, your student loans. Sorry, Biden ain't there. I think today is the day. Yep, today's the day that collections on coming from millions of student loan borrowers. Oh, yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but my YouTube is blown up.
Oh, yeah.
With videos of people saying, I don't care what they say or do. I'm not paying that loan. I'm not repaying that money.
Yep, that's true. We'll see. The Trump administration is starting to put millions of defaulted student loan borrowers into collections Monday and threatening to confiscate their wages, tax returns, and federal benefits. There are some, listen to this. This is because of Biden. There are some 5 million borrowers whose loans are in default, many of whom have made regular payments since the pandemic. Millions more are on the cusp of default, according to the Education Department. Now, I know there's some legitimate ones out there that's struggling. Okay, right. I understand that. President Trump has made student debt repayment a priority, a reversal from President Joe Biden, who attempted to forgive swaths of student debt, though a pandemic payment pause ended in 23. The Biden administration extended a no consequences period for those who didn't pay through the 24 election. The Trump administration says it doesn't have the authority to wipe away student debt and must collect on it. Restarting loan payments and penalties for not doing so would be a burden for many Americans. It would sap their spending on everything from new cars to restaurant meals at an already uncertain economic moment. It's a substantial additional cost, blah, blah, blah. But here's what I want to say to you. If you're, I don't know how many people that falls in this category will be watching the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if you fall into that and these people that are saying, I don't care what you say, I'm not paying. You owe this to me. You owe this to me. How do you think that if your loan was forgiven, how do you think the bank forgives it? That's not what this was ever about. It was the government was going to pay the bank. The bank is not going to just say, you know what?
Never mind.
Never mind. The funding, whatever funded it through the government, they're not just going to say it. Let me tell you, it's not the government. They say it's a government loan. No. The government did not loan that money. Okay. Ever how the money came, somebody's going to get paid.
Right.
And how do they get paid? They get paid by you and me.
Yes.
So how is it fair that all these other people went to college, had to pay their loans, they're working their tails off, or people didn't go to college and they're working their tails off?
That's the serious thing right there.
They paid
you never went to college, but you are being,
exactly
required to make sure this is taken care of. It is brutal. Really? So we're in these harsh economic times and timing is just terrible on it. And now is the moment when you have to, level up for this loan. Yeah.
No.
It's going to be an additional car payment or maybe your entire food bill for some people. Because there are some people who are well over $100,000
a lot more than that
in debt.
Yeah.
The average I would not imagine would be $100,000, but there are plenty of people who owe over $100,000.
Absolutely.
What kind of rates do you think they're going to get?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, if you then again don't pay this, you heard what he said. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think the days of college is beginning to wind down.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
And I think it needs to, because college is no longer, number one, no longer does it guarantee you a job. In fact, most people never get the job that they went to college to be.
And that is an argument that you hear some people using. I can't find a job.
Yeah.
With, for the degree that I got.
I'm sorry that you couldn't find a job in gender studies.
Yeah. I'm sure
Equity.
There are plenty of people that abuse this opportunity, but there are some.
Yeah, right. There are.
That, thought they were doing everything right.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
It just hasn't panned out for them. But hey, here's another thing. A lot of those people, they haven't had to worry about this for 5 years.
5 years.
Or somewhere or in that range. And
the precedent was set.
And now they're just defiant.
Yeah, they're just defiant.
I don't care. I'm not doing it. I'm not paying this back.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if BP's still in here. I'm sure he's got some thoughts on this. I see him. And, of course, we're going to try to get Stan Deo as well. But BP may have already done a show on this. But there's been some big things happening with the sun. Now, just going to really rapid fire hit this. This article here, this Substack says, what's up with the sun? It says a very big sunspot, sunspot 4079 is by far the biggest sunspot of 25. It stretches 86,992 miles across the solar disk and covers an area equal to 50% of Carrington's sunspot in 1859. The two jet black cores, look at that right there. That's image of the sun. Wow. The two jet black cores are each large enough to swallow Earth. What? They are bristling with hair-like solar fibrils as much as 20,000 kilometers long. Fibrils are essentially magnetic tubes that guide hot plasma in and out of the sunspot. When they start to wave back and forth, it means the sunspot is becoming unstable and about to erupt. This is video of it as it's moving of the sun. And here's the thing. The giant sunspot is turning towards Earth over the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was some activity Sunday morning.
Yeah, and
with the
this might
sun.
be what it's talking. This may be yesterday. This may be that last weekend.
But remember, I told you that Texas had an earthquake yesterday morning.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming there was some activity then. And I've been trying to catch as many of BP's videos as I can because he will often complain of some health problem,
Yeah, tied to the sun.
And he's tying this directly. And you know that
he made a great video on that not long ago. I watched.
That
and he was
I
on
have
Paul's
told
show.
you for years.
Yeah.
If I am having a lot of joint pain, discomfort, or just a really bad headache, a lot of times, what will I do?
Check the Schumann resonance.
I will check the Schumann resonance. And sometimes it's really bad.
And let me tell you something. Do you know that I saw, and I'm sure you saw this because I was not around you when I saw this, so I thought Sandy's seen this.
What?
The day that the power went out in Spain and all that, the Schumann resonance was at record levels.
Yes, I did look at that. I did.
So now they're saying that maybe that's what happened because remember the whole thing was supposedly tied to the solar panels. That the solar panels had an excessive amount of heat and frequency that caused the whole system to overload. Yep. So I think what's going on in the sun probably had something to do with that.
And they didn't want to just come out and say that, so they wove a tapestry for everybody.
Right. So y'all,
and you did a great job of taking us step by step through that explanation that they offered to the world. I thought, wow, I need to go bake more cookies or something.
I wouldn't complain. So, and we got to think one or two more articles, and then we're going to show you the video about the 170 cities that this person is saying she has proof is underground that we've spent trillions of dollars building in anticipation for something like what we're talking about here. But when you're talking about
I hope there's pictures or diagrams.
Well, I don't know. Shifting back to the woke society and all this is unreal to me, y'all. This is just crazy. This goes to the United Kingdom. Labour, their party in the United Kingdom, council seeks to imprison street preachers for up to 2 years for causing offense and distress. When you hear what they're talking about, you're going to be incensed. A Labour Party-run council in England has sparked outrage by proposing a sweeping injunction that could imprison Christian street preachers for up to 2 years over claims of causing offense and distress. Covering Farborough and Aldershot has faced accusations of attempting to criminalize Christians for preaching, watch this, praying and distributing Bibles in public spaces. The council initially applied for the injunction in February, citing complaints about noise, public disruption, and distress caused by street preachers. Under the proposed terms, Christians would be banned, this is unbelievable when you hear this, from praying for individuals without prior consent. I want to read this carefully and slowly. Would be banned from praying for individuals without prior consent, handing out religious leaflets or Bibles by hand, and laying hands on people in prayer, even with permission.
Wow.
They want to put you in jail if they see you on the street and someone says to you, I am sick, will you pray for me? You get some anointing oil, which is what the Bible tells you to do, and you pray for that person, and they see you, you can be turned in according to this law and be imprisoned in the United Kingdom for up to 2 years.
They want to scare people to completely shut this down, obviously.
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to take a guess about why this has happened and what is the leading factor of why this bill is being...
Maybe another religion?
Exactly. The Muslims. Every major city in the United Kingdom has a mayor that's a Muslim now.
Wow.
Now, this is a short 20-second video clip, but this is if you think this is just hype, this is the actual news there.
Welcome back to GBN Tonight with me, Martin Daubney. Now, the Labour-ran Rushmore Borough Council has sparked outrage by proposing a sweeping injunction that could see Christian street preachers in prison for up to 2 years. And if the injunction is breached, now over claims of causing offence or distress. Now, under the proposed terms, Christians will be banned from praying for individuals, handing out religious leaflets or Bibles by hand, and laying hands on people in prayer, even with their permission. Welcome back to GBN Tonight with...
That's the one that gets me. All of it's crazy. I mean, I can almost see that somebody's like, I don't want to hear about your Jesus. I didn't give you permission to tell me about your Jesus. But you can be put in prison for doing what somebody asked you to do. Will you lay your hands on me and pray for me? Absolutely, brother. Come here, let me pray for you.
That's what it said, even with permission.
You could go to prison? I mean, this is not free speech. This is not freedom of religion.
BP said, AI Bible. Can you scroll back down in chat just a little?
The new AI Bible will be the top seller. Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Thanks for that report about that G1 magnetic storm as well, BP.
Okay. So this is the one more, then we'll go to the video we've been talking about. But just so you know, woke is not dead. Okay. They're going into hiding. But they're thinking that, okay, the new of the Trump administration's wore off. Now I'm going to watch this. Hollywood Bowl, Jesus Christ Superstar gets even gayer with Adam Lambert.
Oh my goodness.
Now listen to what they're going to do here. The Hollywood Bowl's production of Jesus Christ Superstar just got a whole lot gayer with the casting of Adam Lambert as Judas. This 3-night event, which will be part of the Hollywood Bowl Summer Series, will also feature Cynthia Erivo as Christ. Erivo is a gay black woman. There has been no announcement yet for who will play Mary Magdalene, but I'm sure the producers are actively auditioning every Palestinian terrorist available. What's funny is that all the Republican rhinos and squashers who fiend outrage over President Trump's releasing of an AI mock-up showing him as the next pope won't say a word about this blatant and belligerent attack of blasphemy. And here we go. Says Bill Crystal says, hey, J.D. Vance, I guess you're fine with this disrespect and mocking of the Holy Father. And JD just blew him up and said, as a general rule, I'm fine with people telling jokes and not fine with people starting stupid wars that kill thousands of my countrymen. So they're back and forth. But I don't know if I have a picture. I don't. Let's see. Let me go to here.
Is that Cynthia Erivo?
Yeah, she
was in the movie with
Wicked. Yeah, she was in the movie with Wicked. And I thought there was a picture over here, but there's not one of her. But yeah, she is a lesbian, and she's going to play Jesus. Yeah. She is a lesbian, and she is going to play Jesus.
Right.
Okay. So how interesting will the kiss of betrayal be from Adam Lambert to what's her name? Cynthia
Erivo.
Okay, Larry. Moving on. All right. So here we go. This is what you've been waiting on.
Yes.
Let's talk about this. Watch this. Former housing official claims the United States government has secretly, listen to this, y'all, diverted $21 trillion to build an underground city network for the rich and powerful in a near extinction event. Catherine Austin Fitz suggests some of these bases are located under the ocean. Fitz previously served as the Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development for Housing. She suggested that there are 170 underground bases that are connected by a big transportation network. She goes on to say, we systematically went through and tried to estimate how many underground bases, both underground in the United States, but also underground under the ocean around the United States. And our estimate was 170 with a transportation network connecting them. Let's watch this video. And
let me just say something real quick. That is the same money that Rumsfeld was talking about. That's the same amount back at 9/11 times. Remember?
That was the amount?
Yes. Was it not? Or I don't know.
Let's look that up.
Maybe whatever. Let's watch it.
Let's watch it. if that is the exact same amount, somebody I gotta make another show on that one. So let's watch this.
But there is a history of near extinction events. And one of the things that I've looked at, because I'm trying to figure out, when between fiscal 1998 and fiscal 2015, there were 21 trillion of undocumentable adjustments in the U.S. government. If you go to our website, missingmoney.solera.com, we have years and years of documentation, including the government financials that show this. And so the question is, where's all this money going? And one of the things I've looked at in the process of looking at where all this money is going is the underground base and city infrastructure and transportation system that's been built. And
I'm sorry?
Yes. So we have built an extraordinary number of underground bases and supposedly transportation systems. Yeah. Some of these are a record of, some of these are.
So for the record, he said 2.3 trillion.
He said 2.3 trillion back then.
Yeah. According to some estimates, we cannot track 2.3 trillion in transactions. What he said on, listen to this, September 10th.
Exactly.
2001.
And it was not spoken of again.
Never spoken of again.
After 9/11.
Documented as part of the national security infrastructure. I think there are many more. So
in the United States?
In the United States, all over the world. But from 2021 to 2023, I took one of the smartest subscribers in the Solera Report network, and he and I spent 2 years collecting all the data and all the allegations on underground bases. And then we systematically went through and tried to estimate our guess, this is totally a guess, of how many underground bases, both underground in the United States, but also underground under the ocean around the United States. And our estimate was 170 with a transportation network connecting them.
And what would be the purpose?
The purpose, if you thought you were going to get a near extinction event, so there, to me, there are two purposes. You have so many activities going on that you need to keep secret that you're basically building the capacity to, for example, if you're doing a secret space program, you need to platform it from, things that can't be seen. But I think if you're worried about a near extinction event, that's.
So I know nothing about this other than my only window into it. I knew a contractor who worked on one in Washington, in the city of Washington, D.C. Right. And I remember him telling me about a power box, like a transformer box on Constitution Avenue that he told me, because he worked on it personally, was actually the exit, the egress from the White House. That was kind of by vehicle. I thought that was, I was like, really? He goes, oh, yeah, no, I installed it. I know. And I thought, well, that's kind of crazy that in the middle of this big city where I lived I was on Constitution Avenue every day, that you could build something like that without me knowing it. Under the VP's house at the Naval Observatory, same thing. I think most people know that. Next to my brother's house on Macomb Street in D.C. But that's, I always thought that was like preparation for nuclear war. Like, I didn't really think about it that much. Some of it
is, it's preparation for catastrophe.
So, but you think that there are facilities like that in other places outside D.C.?
Oh, yeah. So if you're interested, we have a great interview. I did an interview of Richard Dolan on underground bases on the Solera Report, and it's sort of an introduction to the topic, and it's based on a lot of the research of a guy named Richard Sauter, who is very hard to interview. So Richard kind of went through all the material. And clearly it's, I don't know if you ever saw, Washington Post did a project, it was in 2010 or 12, called Top Secret America. And one of the reporters, it was a team of two.
So I have to stop it every once in a while as far as copyright.
This
and I'm going to bring it right back. But
yeah, I know her, Catherine Austin Fitz.
I mean, y'all, this is the fact that she's openly saying this. I mean, are they not usually scared to say this kind of stuff?
I think she's been talking about, maybe not to this extent, but she's probably been talking about this for a while.
Okay.
Reporters, one of them put together a database of all the different top secret installations that had been built in the country, including since the Patriot Act. And what you saw was just this explosion of money in building so many both underground and above ground facilities.
So you can watch the entire interview on Tucker Carlson, but I want to go back up here one more time and just read this fact here. $21 trillion that she was able to track to build an underground city network for the rich and powerful for the near extinction event. And then she goes on to say, some of these bases are located under the ocean. Your thoughts?
This is rich. This is a rich story. Okay, so let's go back several months when, quite frankly, on Paul's show, Mike from Around the World talked about submarines.
Sure did.
Being able to pop up in the desert.
Yeah.
And you said to me, no, that's just about a bridge too far. That's pure craziness. And I'm like, and I told you, I've heard this before. It's not the first time I've heard this.
Sandy, I was just messing with you. I believe it all now.
You believe it all now.
I was just trying to have a talk with you.
But
I believe it. Anything's possible.
Listen, that craziness has to go right alongside what she's talking about. Bases under the ocean?
Yeah. And then your mind goes there. Is that what people are seeing coming out of the water? The crafts that are coming out of the water. Are they coming out of the water because these are also reverse engineered crafts or whatever that are coming out of the bases that are underwater? Or is that a distraction to make you think it's a UFO, to make you not think that there's people living down there? I mean, is Aquaman real?
I don't know, but I've been hearing about the UFO base off the coast of California for, I don't know, probably 7 years. So certainly there are many reports of people seeing things coming up out of the water and going into the water.
Yeah, and then I wanted to just sort of hit this right here too, to remind us of this dude, because he looks a little different than what I've seen him before.
Was that Hecker?
That's the guy about
Eric Hecker?
Yeah, Eric Hecker.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just going to play a little bit of this, because you got one lady saying there's 170 underground bases.
But he's the Antarctica guy.
He's the Antarctica guy.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm saying is, if that's true, if there's 170 cities, not bases, I keep saying bases. She's saying functional cities connected by a tunnel system, high-speed railroad, whatever it is, and even underwater.
Let's pause there for another second. Okay, city, and when we saw this new series, Paradise.
That's what I keep thinking.
I already had images and whatever in my mind of what an underground city would look like. I mean, you've got to have everything.
Yeah.
You've got to have the doctor's office.
Right.
You've got to have
School,
all of these different things.
Churches.
And most importantly, food and water, right?
Right.
So how is food grown? How does this happen?
Well,
Paradise helped put it into perspective, right?
Sure did. You know, we're not telling you, endorsing the program to go watch it, but somebody told us that, look, because of the stuff y'all talk about, you got to watch this series. And we did. And y'all, it's one of the most predictive program things we've seen in a long time.
Yes.
Long time. I mean, because they were showing us their food was lab grown. So when you start thinking about lab grown meat and all the stuff we've been covering for the last 2.5 years from this show,
right? We
saw it in this show. And now you have that show coming out talking about, it was in Colorado and it was built looked like a cave. They dug it outside this mountain, put all this functioning things in that you're talking about.
Yep.
That show, series 1, it's going to be renewed, I think, ends. And not long after that, here we are talking about people saying, y'all, that's not just a movie. That's not just a show. What's really coming? How many movies have we seen over the years where an asteroid's coming?
Decades.
I mean, just.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about predictive programming in general.
I am. Just
decades.
Decades. Extinction event is coming.
Absolutely.
And that the government knew it was coming, and before they had to be forced to tell everybody, they had to build these underground places, these arcs. Remember the one? What was the one that had the 2012 or something? The crazy movie. where they had the arcs again, where they was floating in the water because it was flooded.
Right.
And they had to repopulate. But then this guy here, he's very well known. Many of you have seen his interviews that he's done. He's been on Sean Ryan. He's been on.
I did not see him on Sean Ryan.
He was on Sean Ryan. And
wait a minute, maybe I did.
I think
I've seen him for sure before. Has he been on Redacted before also?
No.
Okay.
But the one you're talking about was Sean Ryan, is when he broke this on John. But I'm just going to randomly go into this because this guy is telling us that major things are happening in Antarctica, that they have weapons there, earthquake creating weapons and all of this, and that there's aliens there.
Before we play, I want to say one more thing. If Catherine Austin Fitts is being allowed to go long form, I think I've certainly heard her allude to the
but there is a
basis
history.
before.
I'm going to show it. Sorry.
Without, without
fear of
quite
retribution.
frankly, having
Death.
a stop put to it. And certainly, listen, I believe many people's lives have been shortened because of wanting to be a whistleblower or wanting to get this information out. I believe presidents have had their lives shortened because they wanted to stop certain processes or get some kind of information out.
Yep.
If that is the case, if it's not going to be stopped, is it already too late for anybody to do anything about it? And that's why they're being allowed to talk about this.
Absolutely. But here's the thing. If you have a biblical worldview, you know that the Bible talks about people will go underground. They will hide in the mountains. They will hide in the caves to try to escape what's coming. So what is
not just biblical, just in history in general, we know people have gone underground.
Absolutely.
The Native Americans know that they're getting ready to go underground. Again, look at these European countries who it's known they have hundreds or even thousands of bunkers. We know Russia has, put it out that they can easily take care of multiple millions, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions.
Well, where the World Economic Forum and CERN is, there's 375,000.
China has underground
375,000 underground bunkers in Switzerland.
And it's known that it is available for at least some of the general public.
Well, let's go real deep here. I have several teachings, and I'm writing a book right now where I'm dealing with this as well in one particular chapter of this book of CERN. And so if there are 170 cities connected in
and
America,
it's still amazing.
That's
to
just
me,
America.
Just America. It's amazing to me that they feel confident that they have estimated this number.
Yeah. It does. It is amazing.
The highest number I ever heard was 130 or 131.
But she is saying 170.
And she's basing this off of economics. She's basing this off of.
But Sandy, you and I both know that if they are seeing something that is an extinction event, a near extinction event, and America has built 170 cities.
They already made that movie. Did you not?
How many cities are built around the world? America's not going to be the only one that does it. Every single nation in the world.
Of most every government. I mean, it's going to be similar to the movie.
Yeah.
They call in the heads of, the most important, the biggest governments and tell them what's happening. And, hey, this is what we're going to do. We suggest you do something similar. And everybody goes about building. Yeah. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they got to be somebody to unify it. Somebody's got to unify the whole world. It's got to be a man of peace. It's got to unify the whole world. And it's going to be somebody that's an Antichrist. But I'm going to tell you, before the Antichrist person unites the world, what you're talking about is all these nations have this panic event coming, and they finally come out and tell us, well, if we're still here, guess what's going to happen? The aliens are going to step to the pulpit, to the podium, and they're going to say, look, we knew this was coming. We have been working with your people underground, giving them technology to help them survive this underground, but we've hit a snag. So now I've got to come out and tell you, trust me, we've got the plan. We're going to save all of you.
Oh, it's like the movies are Satan's prophecy. Thank you, Treva.
So here we go. Let's listen a little bit about Antarctica.
New Zealand government demanded retribution.
This is about the earthquake.
sharper, stronger, younger, and know that you're fueling the companies there.
Walk us back a little bit here. When you worked at the South Pole Station, what were you doing there, and what did you see? And how big of a weapon are we talking about here? And what are its strengths, and what are governments using it for?
There's a lot to unpack there. Yeah. Basically, my role was I provided maintenance to the facility. In that capacity, I had extreme access to everything that was going on. As I disclosed in Washington, D.C. as a whistleblower, these research projects are actually directed energy weapons systems. I've been trying to get people to pay attention to the high level of technology that's being hidden from us. And there's only a fistful of people like yourself that are willing to engage these topics and consider what might be being hidden from us. In regards to the technology that I found down there, the capacity to generate earthquakes is one of the things going on. Earthquake induction is a very referenceable science that has a lot of money being invested into it for the past couple of decades. So the Christchurch earthquakes that occurred in February of 2011, 2 of them are the responsibility of this equipment that I identified at the South Pole Station.
Is the New Zealand government aware that this was caused by the equipment and the machines at the South Pole Station? As the New Zealand government demanded retribution, said, you guys literally destroyed one of our cities. I mean, has there been any, or are they just sort of hands off?
Not to my knowledge. Nobody from the New Zealand government has ever reached out to me. Technically, I have been interviewed by.
So the reason I want to show you that is it's a part of the grand scheme, the big picture.
Yes.
Is there's no way that you're going to make me believe that if America has 170 cities underground and other countries have cities underground and they're under the oceans as well, right, there's no way that it's not connected to the South Pole. So when you start thinking about what you've heard for years, and you started talking to me years ago about that even at the end of World War II, many of the Nazis went there, and that there were supposedly alien entities, and I have that in air quotes, and entities that they were gathering and getting downloads of, which is another thing I'm talking about in my book, is that we're seeing a resurgence of what happened in Genesis chapter 6 of downloading of technology that we were not supposed to have in the natural realm. I think it's, I like what you're saying. I think that the enemy knows the time is running out, so he's got to bring fear. He operates in fear. So you're going to start seeing the rollout of them admitting these kind of things to create fear, because the average person like me and you, we're not going to the city underground. We ain't got a ticket.
We didn't get the golden ticket.
We didn't get the golden ticket. We're not going. So now we got the golden ticket, because we're going to be raptured out of here and we're going to be with the Lord. But I'm just trying to tell you that these cities are not being built for me and you.
No. Wow.
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Well, it's every movie that you've seen.
It is literally.
It's Greenland. Well, okay, you can come because you got a specialty in this area. You can come because you're, closely related to this person. Yeah, it's not going to be for the average person.
No.
It's not going to be for the average person.
Well, speaking of not the average person.
Great segue.
It's a supernatural AI update. Woohoo!
I liked what you did there. That was cool.
Thank you. So, supernatural AI update. AI is getting more powerful, but its hallucinations are getting worse.
Oh boy, I can hardly wait to hear this one.
Oh yeah. A new wave of reasoning systems from companies like OpenAI is producing incorrect information more often. Even the companies don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah. So last month, an AI bot that handles tech support for a company called Cursor, an up-and-coming tool for computer programmers, alerted several customers about a change in company policy. It said that they were no longer allowed to use Cursor on more than just one computer. In angry posts to internet message boards, the customers complained. Some canceled their Cursor accounts, and some got even angrier when they realized what had happened. The AI bot had announced a policy change that did not exist.
Wow.
Quote, "We have no such policy. You're, of course, free to use Cursor on multiple machines," the company's chief executive and co-founder wrote in a Reddit post. "Unfortunately, this is an incorrect response from a frontline AI support bot." Wow. The newest and most powerful technology, so-called reasoning from companies like OpenAI, Google, and Chinese startup DeepSeek, are generating more errors, not fewer. As their math skills have notably improved, their handle on facts has gotten shakier. It's not entirely clear why. Well, let me just tell you something, my opinion. I don't think it is
a mistake.
I think they are doing exactly what they want to do.
That's exactly what I think. And I think this is the warm-up.
Right. Right.
If you think this is bad, just wait. And for everybody who said, yeah, nothing could possibly go wrong.
Right.
Does this feel like the beginning of vindication?
Yeah. Hey, how about this? How about you go to the doctor? And last week and a couple weeks before that, we covered the AI doctor. The artificial intelligence doctor is going to be more accurate and is going to put 60% of doctors and even physicians and surgeons out of a job. Sure. Well, how about this? How about we just covered that the hallucinations are getting worse, which means they're bringing wrong information. And Google, AMIE, and I'll tell you what that is in just a second, which is the AI doctor program that they're releasing through their Gemini program, learns to see medical images. Google is giving its diagnostic AI the ability to understand visual medical information with the latest research on AMIE, which is Articulate Medical Intelligence Explorer. Imagine chatting with an AI about a health concern, and instead of just processing your words, it could actually look at the photo of that worrying rash and make sense of your ECG printout. That's what Google is aiming for. We already knew AMIE showed promise in text-based medical chats thanks to earlier work published in Nature, but let's face it, real medicine isn't just about words. Doctors rely heavily on what they can see: skin condition, readings from machines, lab reports. As Google team rightly points out, even simple instant messaging platforms allow static multimodal information, i.e. images, to enrich discussions. Text-only AI was missing a huge piece of the puzzle. The big question, as the researchers put it, was whether LLMs can conduct diagnostic clinical conversations that incorporate the more complex type of information.
Is that large language models?
Yes. Google's engineers have beefed it up using their Gemini 2.0 Flash model as their brains of the operation. They've combined this with what they call a state-aware reasoning framework. In plain English, this means the AI doesn't just follow a script. It adapts its conversation based on what it's learned so far and what it still needs to figure out. So what could go wrong there?
What could possibly go wrong? Say, you are on the bad side of AI.
Right.
And you need a medical procedure.
Yep.
Whoopsie, you better be prayed up.
Well, let's go back to one of the news that we just covered. You can get arrested for 2 years just for praying for somebody. Yes. What if you defy that and keep praying for somebody, and somebody gets into your doctor and your AI doctor and says they won't stop praying, so therefore let's look over that tumor. Let's not.
How about this? What if we maybe we need to change up some of their prescriptions?
Exactly. Which would be so easy. Then all of a sudden, I can't believe it. They took the wrong medicine. They got the wrong medicine, and now they're no longer with us. AI will have the ability to easily unalive people if it wants to. Now, remember back We were not even in this studio. This was back probably, I think maybe even right around the time we first started our Monday night show. Mm-hmm. We covered Sam Altman's company called World Bank or something where they had the orbs.
Yes.
Remember we'd go around to all these orbs?
The orbs.
Okay. So that was big in the news for a while, went viral for a while, and nobody talked about it anymore. Well, guess what? No. This week he actually launched the company in America. Okay. So the orbs, y'all will remember this. Many of you remember this. Sam Altman's World Coin is what he called it, gets new Orb Mini and a U.S. launch. Those in the United States who pre-registered for the app back when we first covered it got $150 worth of WLD, which is the Bitcoin type coin that they're going to have. But World Coin is what it's called. Usable via World mobile app is finally launching in the U.S., making a big splash with a slew of big integrations. The co-founder of AI, Sam Altman, briefly took the stage during the live event Wednesday and declared, "I am a very proud American." And he says U.S. residents can now get their irises scanned to claim WLD tokens as part of an ongoing airdrop. Iris scanning orbs are being set up in Atlanta, Austin, Los Angeles, Miami, Nashville, and San Francisco to start. Believe it or not, sorry, New Yorkers, not yet. Those in the U.S. who pre-registered have been airdropped 150 WLD, which is about $150. So watch this video right here.
Sam Altman's eye scanning ID project has officially launched in the U.S. The venture is called World, which Altman co-founded in 2019, known as WorldCoin until last year. Its purpose? To create a global identity verification system for people using iris scans and the blockchain to ideally fight against fraud and bots. Here's how it works. You go up to an orb, which is a spherical biometric device, and it spends about 30 seconds scanning your face and iris. Then it creates and stores a unique iris code for you, verifying that you're a human and that you've never signed up before. After that, you get some of the project's cryptocurrency for free, and you can use your World ID as a sign-in with integrated platforms, which currently include an open API integration with Minecraft, Reddit, Telegram, Shopify, and Discord. The company is opening 6 flagship U.S. retail locations in Austin, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Nashville, Miami, and San Francisco, where people can sign up to have their eyeballs scanned.
I hope they don't work in conjunction with, what's that thing at the airport?
Oh, Clear?
Clear.
Yeah. Yeah, no comment.
Yeah.
But y'all, don't worry about it. It's all gonna be okay. Robots, AI.
Give them your biometrics. Give them your DNA.
It's gonna be okay.
Don't worry about it.
It's gonna be okay. Y'all, have we already started getting nominations for the Chicken Award, the Golden Chicken Award?
We're working on it.
Okay. All right. Well, we got 2 more that might win. Did these 2 Chinese men just witness a preview of the robot revolution?
I'm going to go with probably yes.
Yeah. I've seen too many sci-fi movies not to see the next video as some sort of preview for the future robo revolution. 2 dudes were doing some testing on a humanoid robot in an undisclosed Chinese factory on May 1st when this happened during testing. Let's wake him up and see what he's going to do. Come here, come here, come here, come here. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Come here, come here. They're freaking out. Good thing he was tethered.
Wow.
So I'm telling you, nothing can go wrong. Yeah. This is they're gonna make the beds up. They're gonna take care of your kids. They're gonna change your baby's diapers. Y'all, it's gonna be just like the Jetsons.
Wow.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, Sandy. Calm down. This is for our greater good. Yeah. Yeah. So you know what else is for your greater good?
So creeped out right
you
now.
can go to LarryRagland.com and you will be blessed big time. Because you go to LarryRagland.com, you can see previous episodes that we've done from our show. You can get a copy of our book, which I'm writing a brand new book that will be on there not too long from now. You can read articles. You can join our email list. And then, of course, if you'd like to partner with us, you can click partner with us up at the top. And you got our address you can send a gift to. You can become a monthly partner. You can help us with our television ministry. We are on Faith TV, a worldwide television ministry, which, by the way, I'm about to be, I'll let you know when I get closer to it, but I'm going to be going down to Naples, Florida, and I will be live on their program. It's going to be really cool, and you guys are going to help send me there. You put us on the air, and you will help send me there. They have asked me, Faith TV has requested for me to come down to their studio in Naples, Florida. I'm going to be recording 3 2-hour live shows timed for one for Africa, one for Europe, and one for America. And you'll be able to watch that on Faith TV. I'll be live in the studio there. So I'll let you know when we get closer to that. So
exciting. What a great opportunity.
It's a great, great opportunity. So the last thing I'm going to show you tonight is I believe this one may get the golden chicken award. I believe this one might get it. China has built a robot with a human brain. Chinese scientists grew a cerebral organoid, a mini brain from human stem cells and connected it to a robot. Not just for show. The brainlet controls physical movement, dodges obstacles, grabs objects, and even shows signs of synaptic plasticity. Plasticity.
Okay.
Meaning it can learn and adapt based on experience. They embedded it into a brain-on-chip system, combining neural tissue with silicon circuitry. Essentially, a hybrid biodigital processor. This could revolutionize neuroscience, drug testing, and AI development. But it also drags us straight into Blade Runner territory.
What? Stop. This could revolutionize neuroscience.
Yeah.
Drug testing.
Think about it.
And AI development.
Think about it.
I need to stop right now.
Hang on. Just 2 more paragraphs. Hang on, baby.
My mind.
Hang on, baby. Hang on.
What?
Hang on. But it also drags us straight into Blade Runner territory. Machines that don't simulate thought, but actually have it. The ethical red flags are everywhere. What counts as consciousness? Where's the line between tool and entity? Are we growing minds to serve machines? Cool. Yes. Chilling? Also yes. And here it is. Let's turn on the sound.
On-chip technology. This robot is powered by lab-grown human brain cells. Chinese researchers have developed this brain-on-chip technology called MetaBOC. Researchers say that their tiny lab-grown brain could learn tasks faster than current AI models. They say it uses much less energy than AI, which needs a lot of power and data to learn. These brain cells also show more, quote, intuition and creativity than AI, learning with fewer examples. Could this be because some aspect of the human spirit is locked in these brain cells? And is there any moral issue with using human brain cells and possibly the human soul to power robots to perform slave-like behavior?
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my God.
This robot is powered by lab-grown human brain.
Sandy, I believe this may be the winner.
Oh, this is definitely the winner. Are you kidding me?
So tonight's winner of the Golden Chicken Award goes to...
horrible story. And for the record, no. There's no soul or spirit in that thing.
No.
That's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Oh my! I thought maybe it was the 170 underground cities.
Yeah.
And then what was about 2 stories before this?
Who knows? I've done forgot.
I thought maybe one of, but no.
This is it.
The fighting robot.
Oh yeah.
But no. This is the creepy show of the night.
This is the creepy show of the night. And with that, we want to just say, because she needs to go.
I got to go.
I
can't stay here any longer.
We always want to remind you on the big picture. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to all our partners. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button, sharing this, copying this link and pasting it into a text thread and sending it to some people that you know need to hear the news from a non-woke perspective. But we want to remind you, as it says behind us here, we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake. See you next time on The Big Picture.
Would you like to help us build the Big Picture family? We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. All you have to do is go to our website at LarryRagland.com and make a one-time gift, or you can become a monthly partner. Any amount is a blessing and an encouragement to us. While you're there, make sure you get a copy of our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect with us on our social media links, and join our mailing list. We appreciate it. And remember, we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.